Hello and welcome to the Mendocino Coast. We are so excited to have you here because this spring is an incredibly exciting time to be on the coast. This is when we have the unique opportunity to glimpse part of the gray whale's northern migration. These incredible creatures travel yearly from their Arctic feeding grounds south to the warm lagoons of Baja, Mexico, where they will mate or give birth. When those Arctic waters start to warm up a little bit, they'll head north again in the spring with their calves. And that northern migration is what we have an opportunity to glimpse by whale watching off the Mendocino Coast in the spring. Whale watching is a fun, safe activity for ocean and animal lovers of any age. But sometimes it's hard to know where to look, what you're looking for, even what you're looking at exactly. What do you bring whale watching? How do you stay safe? Well, let this video serve as your personal tour guide, teaching you how to safely and successfully whale watch here on the Mendocino Coast. So,
let's go whale watching.
Let's go whale watching.
Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
Howdy folks, the first and most important thing you want to talk about while you're whale watching with us is your safety. 1, always be sure to check the weather conditions before you go out. 2, stay on trail. And 3, lock your vehicle while you're out and about in the park. Next, be sure you're always standing in a safe area while you're whale watching. Don't get too close to the edge of the bluffs. With the weather and the ocean weathering, they can sometimes fall down. We promise you still get a great view of the whale standing back from the edge.
So you might be asking yourself, what do I need in order to go whale watching? Well, first things first, it's always good to check your local weather forecast. It's sunny today. Would you look at that? But then again, our forecasts are often wrong, so it's always good to be prepared with some things like, well, say, an umbrella, or maybe some layers. See, it's always nice to be nice and warm and cozy when you're whale watching. Of course, when you're visiting our parks currently, you should always be sure when you're unable to physically distance yourself, bring a mask. Gee, I can't see anything. I wish that I had something that could make what's so far away look like it was right here. I wish I brought myself some binoculars. Ah, that's the wrong idea. There we go. Now, with binoculars, you can just put the strap over your neck to make sure they don't fall on the ground. And then when you see a spout off in the distance, well, lift the binoculars up and focus on that spout, because you should see about 3 to 4 breaths per spout. Now, other things you might look for are flukes or spy hopping.
Spouts, flukes, and spy hopping. Oh my. What does this mean? What exactly are we looking for? Where do I look? The best place to start your search for gray whales is where you see the slight change in color offshore. While looking out in the ocean, you'll see some water that appears darker in hue than the color of the water closer to shore. That slight change in color is an indication of the depth in the change in the depth. Whales most commonly travel just inside or closer to us than to that line. So first look at the change in color, then start watching just before that dark hue. A spout is the most common thing you'll see while whale watching. A spout is a whale exhale and inhale rapid at the ocean surface. Whales are mammals, just like us, meaning that they breathe air. Identifying a spout can be a little tough on a windy or rough ocean day, so be patient with yourself. You're watching for a jet of steam, water, and air coming from the surface of the ocean, and it looks a little like this. If you're lucky, you might see a gray whale's fluke. What is this? It's the fancy name for a gray whale's tail. If you're lucky enough to see the fluke, you'll notice that the tail has a lot of barnacles on it. We promise that this whale is not sick. Gray whales are normally covered in barnacles because these gray whales move so slowly. These barnacles are just hitching a free ride. The average fully grown gray whale is carrying around 400 pounds of barnacles. The last and most uncommon thing you may see a gray whale do is called spy hopping. That is when a gray whale rises its head and eyes vertically above the water. Researchers believe that gray whales do this to get a better understanding of their surroundings. It'll look something like this.
So now that you know how to stay safe, what to bring, and what you're looking for, why do we do this? Why do we make such a big deal about whales here in Mendocino? We've been celebrating whale festivals here for the past 45 years because this area was instrumental in calling attention to the destructive practices of international commercial whaling. While whales have been subsistence hunted for thousands of years, global overhunting took off in the mid-1800s, and by the early 1970s, 8 species were listed as endangered. But our story here starts in 1975, when a gallon of gas cost around 60 cents. The first blockbuster movie, Jaws, was hitting theaters, and Bruce Springsteen's Born to Run was playing on the radio. That year, a Greenpeace ship encountered a whaling fleet killing whales right off of Cape Mendocino. In an effort to stop the killing, Greenpeace maneuvered a high-speed Zodiac inflatable between Russian harpooners and the whales. These protesters assumed that the whalers wouldn't take the shot for fear of injuring someone. They were wrong. The whalers shot their harpoon dangerously close to the Greenpeace Zodiac, and the footage of that harpoon sailing over the heads of peaceful protesters made international news. With the spotlight focused squarely on whaling practices near the Mendocino Coast, a group of local residents and activists saw their opportunity to make an impact. The Mendocino Whale War Association was formed shortly after this incident with the express goal of taking a loud and internationally visible stance against Russian and Japanese whaling practices, even obtaining their own ship to rendezvous with the Greenpeace activists. Stories of this small coastal town declaring war against Japan and the Soviet Union on behalf of whales made news worldwide. This was, after all, during the height of the Cold War. Inspired by this core team of organizers, the town, from local artists to kindergarten students, came together to celebrate and educate during the very first whale festival, then called the Mendocino Whale Wars. And so in March of 1976, 45 years ago, Mendocino's annual whale festival was born. During the 70s, a growing environmental movement was changing perceptions of wildlife from just a consumable resource to something to be observed and enjoyed. With gray whales so accessible along their migration route, these curious giants became willing counterparts in this new relationship between whales and humans. Once called devilfish by whalers for fiercely defending their calves, gray whales are now referred to as friendlies, as mothers bring their calves right up to the boats of ecotourists in their wintering lagoons. Gray whales, once on the verge of extinction, now number in the upper 20,000s. We like to think that concerned citizens of Mendocino played a part in this shifting relationship between whales and humans. And so we continue to celebrate and educate about whales with the annual Whale Festival to this day. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you out whale watching in one of our beautiful parks.
My name is Elizabeth Cameron, and I'm the Executive Director at the Mendocino Area Parks Association. We're the nonprofit organization that supports state parks in Mendocino County with educational activities, park improvements, and visitor center services like operating the Ford House at the Mendocino Headland State Park. I'm so glad that you were able to take in this video today and learn some really important components of whale watching. The most important is being safe when you're visiting our parks. Mendo Park supports 10 state parks in Mendocino County, and we're only able to do this through the generous donations from viewers like you. So visit our website, mendoparks.org, to learn more about how you can volunteer at a park, become a Mendo Parks member, and make a heartfelt gift in support of your favorite park in Mendocino County. So grab your binoculars and your whale watching guide, and let's go watch for some whales.